you sort of do think, oh, I wonder how bad it's going to get.
At the Cowan, we proudly present the Beatles.
The UK is a country built on its music success. Yet over 12 months after the initial COVID-19 lockdown announcement, many venues in the country remain closed, though some venues have had other struggles too.
Everyone asks, how do you feel about it? But in a way, it was inevitable.
Clwb y Bont, a music venue in the centre of Pontypridd in South Wales, was hit with severe flooding on the 15th of February 2020, over a month before the lockdown announcement.
I think with the floods, it affected like so many places, like not just music venues, Nantgarw, like I live in Nantgarw, and a year later, like houses still aren't fixed.
The floods really affected the music scene, definitely, especially in Pontypridd, as Treforest, Green Rooms got affected, and Clwb y Bont in Pontypridd.
How did you feel when you heard about the floods that impacted the venue and the surrounding area?
Being a regular here and being involved in the music scene within and around Pontypridd in such a wide variety of time, it was only really natural to feel devastated.
Even with the measures that Clwb y Bont and others took, the floods still caused significant damage to the venue and the surrounding areas.
First I knew that we'd been flooded was in the morning when I got a phone call, and we all came down and saw that it was absolutely wrecked here. We couldn't actually get in because the flood water was still so high up the lane that we couldn't even get near the building. So we just had to sort of accept the fact that even though we'd had an amazing year of work behind us and another amazing year of work in front of us, at that point we knew that we couldn't carry on.
The floods brought this venue to a halt, but with the pandemic, all venues in the country quickly followed.
Yeah, so when the floods happened around February 2020, you knew there weren't going to be any gigs at Clwb y Bont for a long time because of the extent of the flood damage. But then when the coronavirus came about, and then no gigs anywhere were happening, like just lost all hope for gigs, and like there might not be any gigs until 2022.
Due to the lack of live events and the popularity of Zoom quizzes, many musicians and other performers took to live streaming methods online.
A lot of friends of mine, bands, have taken live stream approaches on Facebook and YouTube.
Putting modern technology into, traditional gig-going methods, I think it's the way forward personally.
Clwb y Bont made use of the Zoom quiz trend by continuing their weekly pub quiz event online through their social media. Although some have found the positive sides to having a break from live music, it hasn't been easy for everyone.
Well, here's the thing, gigs are the main reason I leave the house. So the fact I've lost something to do every night of the week is just, it's taken a lot out of me,
Personally, I feel my confidence has taken a bit of a hit.
So with the reliance that people have on live music, has the offered support the government brought forward been enough for live music venues?
I think the government needs to prioritise hospitality because, tourism, it's in the word, isn't it?
I think the government, I guess they could have stepped in earlier to help these people have more camera equipment and knowledge and teaching about how to use the programmes to do live streams themselves.
Fortunately, Clwb y Bont is one of the lucky ones and has received governmental support to help with its plans surrounding its reopening.
Well, the government through the local council, the regional councils, we have had help and support.
But the true heroes here were the volunteers who took part in the vital repair work for Clwb y Bont, and the people who donated to the venue's GoFundMe page.
It's a bit like being in a war zone or something. We all were really working together really closely and supported each other. But it was an amazing response from volunteers.
What is your hope for the future for entertainment venues? From the government, the venues themselves, from you as a visitor, you as a band member?
Just overall growth, really.
My hope is that they just remain open. Like if they all get the required funding to remain open, if they get government bailouts, because point is, when live music is allowed to return, we need venues to play, we need venues to watch bands, you know what I mean? Like you can't have gigs without venues.
I think that people might have the idea that we've been a sort of drinking club and that's all we do. It's a bit like the men's longhouse, you know, where it's people, all the blokes come down and get drunk or whatever. And I don't think you could say that in these times. We're asking people now by putting out surveys to people what they want out of the club, because we've got a big chance to go in a direction that's led by the membership and anyone who comes in and uses the club.
So, what are the future plans for Clwb y Bont?
We're going to hopefully open the building in stages, starting off with downstairs, and again in some time in the future, which will be many months, we're looking at developing upstairs so we can increase the capacity for events and activities.